Day 4 of our amazing trip to TVS Motors and SST. We got a quick picture with the porter in the morning and off we go. So I'm in India. This is day 4. We're having a great time. You know, I told people, you know, India wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be maybe a little more poor. And that's not to say there aren't poor places, for sure. There are people that are destitute. For sure, we're going to villages where people are poor today. But in general, when I'm in Bangalore, Bangalore is one of the most developed cities. It's actually pretty nice, pretty developed. So I'm gonna put my head out the window here and you're gonna see what it's like, okay? Here we go. So in Bangalore, so you see there's stores normal, everything's pretty normal, a lot of traffic everywhere, but it looks pretty normal, doesn't it? Typical Southeast Asian city with a guy hanging out the door, hanging out the window. I know everyone thinks I'm crazy. Okay, so now we're in maybe our not so normal street, but I'm gonna get out of the car and run. Careful. Okay, here's our car, here's our driver. And this is the crazy vegetable market. Check it out. This is where they're selling all kinds of cool stuff in the morning. They got traffic everywhere. Look at this. Crazy. Crazy. Woo! Ay, 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 ay. I don't know where our car is. I hope I'm keeping up with it. I think our car is somewhere around here. You gotta see all this. Crazy. Look at all the incredible vegetables everywhere. Look at this. Isn't this cool? Wow. It is amazing. Look at this. I love it. This is the coolest place. I don't know where our car is, but oh yeah, our car's back there. So I'm going faster than the car. I want to get to the flower place. I'm also getting in my 10,000 steps today, hey? It's really cool. Exercise, exercise, exercise. Hey, nuts, man. People everywhere. Woo, don't get hit by a car. Oh man. I want to get to the flowers because that's the coolest part. Here we go. Okay, check this out. Look at this. Oh, the smell is fantastic. Wow. There we go, yeah. Wow. This smells so good. You can't believe it. I don't know where our car is. Hopefully didn't lose him. I think I better go out and get the car now. Okay, so there's normal sides and not so normal sides in India, but it's all really cool. And the best thing is the people here are so cool. They're really friendly, really nice. I think our car's coming. I'll just merge in with traffic. Everybody else merges in. You saw the dog yesterday merging in. Why can't a person merge in, right? What the heck, right? Oh, maybe we'll go upstream. Let's see how that works. Here comes our car. Little fun trip in India, hey? There you go. Okay, let's go.
Okay, fabulous.
Norman, am I crazy?
You're fabulous.
Ready? Am I crazy?
Okay, we're crazy. You're not crazy. The rest of the world is crazy.
Yeah. Well, the first stop was by the SST headquarters again before we went out to the village. And Ashok, we wanted to work with him on his public speaking skills, get him to use his hands a little more. So I did a little role playing for him, show him he's got to be really expressive. Then we worked with his team and showed them how we produced a video in just one day yesterday, all on the iPhone. They were like blown away. So tomorrow we're going to train him how to do that. It's going to be very exciting. So first thing, I put the drone up in the air to kind of get a perspective on the area that we're going into. There's lots of small villages. We arrived, Norman got out of the car, and we arrived at a school, a middle school, if you will, for girls and for boys. They greeted us very warmly. They're just amazing people, so gracious. We went into the classroom. Norman talked to them, gave them a little speech on what they could do in their life and found out really what their aspirations were. And it was amazing. These young girls had so much drive and they were so goal-oriented at such a young age on what they were going to do.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
Accountant. How about you? What do you want to be? What?
IPS.
IPS. Indian Police Service. IPS. Police.
Police. Wow, good. The boys sit on one side of the classroom, the girls sit on the other. They're very respectful. They speak English. They were just so warm to us. So we left that school. We went to another village that has only been working with SST for about 2 months. So in the very beginning stages, and we got to see what it looks like before SST really comes in, meeting with the villagers. And then Ashok is going to give us a little background. So Ashok, we are in a village that is about 2 months old that you've been working with them. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about it. You have a plan already that you're executing?
When we enter a village, we do a few things which are absolutely essential. Number one, we try and address the women's needs. So we form a self-help group. We have already formed one self-help group here. There was nothing before. Secondly, we try and address the children's needs. That means a school like this or a play school. Third, we always draw up an action plan as to what we want to do in the village over how much period of time. Now there could be a minor change, but generally we adhere to the schedule and we do a baseline survey for every house-to-house baseline survey. So now we know how many families stay here, what is their income, what are the major livelihood sources, how well educated are the children, or how many children are dropping out of school. So all those details are available with us. And on the basis of that information, we build an action plan. And that action plan is ready for the next 3 months.
Now, it's interesting that you have one person that is responsible for this village, and they are responsible for 85 villages. One person manages 85 villages.
Yes, he's supported by 3 others who are field level workers. The supervisory, one person supervises these 3, and these 85 villages are shared between the 3 of them.
Now, another thing that's interesting about this village is this one, you've only been here for 2 months, and I asked you, how did they find out about you, or how did you find out about them? What was the answer? It was remarkable.
They heard about us, they saw the change that has been brought about in the nearby villages. So they approached us, why don't you come and work in our village too? Our conditions are very simple, sometimes they are strict. We say that, okay, we will come and work in your village, but you'll have to participate. Don't look for charity. We will give you more money than what you can spare for yourself. But it's a partnership between SST and the community. It is not SST giving
not charity.
No,
it's you want to make them self-sustaining.
That's right.
This is just remarkable. The work here is so breathtaking. Everywhere I go, I'm blown away by how much people are engaged. It's not a handout. It's you working with them and teaching them how to be self-sufficient, and that is the most beautiful story of all. And we're seeing it all unfold behind us as Norman engages the children and the teachers. It's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Remarkable work, isn't it? So Norman went up and met some of the children. Again, they're so gracious. All the people are just so much fun to be around, and they really get it. They realize their life can be lifted up by this fantastic model that TVS Motors, through the arm of SST, has provided for these people. And it's just so encouraging to see a model work so effectively. The children are always so kind to us. They give us flowers, and we pulled out the iPole, and they just had a ball with it. And Ashok getting flowers as well from the children.
You can see the taps. There are 2 missing. Third one is working.
One works.
And the water is just flowing down. There's no proper drainage.
So you're going to come in here and help them fix all this so their standards are raised.
Yes.
And the goal is to get all these people out of poverty and to educate them.
Yes. And also to teach them more, make them practice more ecological and environmentally friendly practices. We want them to have a good infrastructure of public buildings.
You want everyone to have a toilet. So all the villages you're working in, they all have running water in the homes, which is not normal, and a toilet.
Yes.
Okay, so we're at the school and we got the kids here. Watch this. This is going to be so much fun. Okay, the kids love the iPhone. They love it so much. Isn't that nice?
You can see how bad the building is.
Right.
It needs a
lot of repair.
Yes, it needs a lot of repairs.
And this
We want the buildings to be attractive so that the parents send the children here. In a dilapidated building, I wouldn't send my child.
Okay, so what you were just saying was the government provides a meal and makes sure every child has a meal, and that's what's happening right now.
That's right.
Let's go take a look. Wonderful.
This is a preschool. Wow. Play school. Bad shape.
And the kids are all eating.
Building bad shapes.
Mothers are not beginning to
Mother not also.
60%.
60% of the families below poverty line.
And how long do you think it will take you before everyone is above the poverty line?
Normally it should take about 3 to 4 years. It depends on their initiative. We are only catalysts.
Yes, what kind of work do they do now? What kind
Most
of work?
all of it is agriculture.
Agriculture. What do they grow?
Millets.
Only millets.
Only millets now.
Is millets for human consumption or for animals?
Human
For
consumption.
human consumption.
So we finished up our tour of this village, and the people were so warm, and we put out the drone, and they loved it. They loved watching it fly in the air. And then from there we went on and drove through another village, and as we drove through the village we saw a millet field, and we stopped in that just so we could understand what it was that they farm predominantly and what the most prominent crop is. And it's like a grain, and it's actually very tasty. I tasted some of it. So then as we drove along, we saw the millet fields, and we saw people traditionally working in the fields with their cows and their animals, and this guy was just great. I jumped out of the car to get a videotape of it. He was just fantastic. And women carrying the crops into the market. And then from there we went to TVS Motors, where we had lunch in their cafeteria, which is like world class. All the people clean their own dishes. You see they have a place for everyone to do that. They feed thousands of people here. They have stainless steel dishes, very efficient, very lean. The food is delicious. I love Indian food. And then we negotiated our way back to the hotel through the streets of India, and that is a crazy driving experience. But for me, I love it. And cows going right down the center of the street. You got to yield to them. And then people fixing their tuk-tuks. And then in the evening, Norman and I walked down the street just to see everything about India. And we negotiated the traffic, which was pretty crazy, on foot. And then we saw the vendors selling all the beautiful fruits and vegetables on the street. It smells delicious. And then we went to a traditional temple, and it was really quite amazing. It was huge. Needless to say, you got to be alert when you're in India. Hear a bull walking right down the center of the street, and he looked at me and said, "Hey buddy, watch out, I'm going to take you out." So I kept my distance. He stopped for a second. I followed him down the street. And here are some of the pictures that we took in the village of the children, of the leaders of the village, of the people of SST that are doing such a great job making these lives of these people so much more enriched and empowered through their fantastic work and their insight. So on the 6th day, we met with Venu and his team, and we just had a fantastic time. Norman and I did our takeaway video on the way out. We got a picture of the group of us in the corporate office, and of course Venu's grandfather and father, who had such a huge impact charting the vision for this amazing company in southern India, doing fantastic work to change people's lives through the arm of SST. What a vision.